You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Blacklist After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Blacklist After Show.
Yeah.
Back in black.
Back in black. List.
Oh.
We did that?
You owe me a Coke. I owe you a Coke.
Yes,
Damn.
you do. Back in black list. Welcome. Yeah, oh, you're just getting it now.
No, I got it.
Welcome to the.
I guess I didn't
She
hear it
didn't
out
think
loud.
it was funny. That's the difference.
Welcome to the AFTERBUZZ After Show, the Blacklist. We are returned after a long hiatus, and we are so happy to be back.
Olympics are over.
The Olympics are over.
Joe was in Sochi the whole time. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, that's a joke. I'm not going to touch the joke, but never mind. Yeah, Sochi was great. I barely know her. That's my joke. Something like that. Anyway, he said it. I'm Joe Braswell. I'm your host. I was not in Sochi. I was here in Los Angeles watching the Olympics on television. I'm joined by Joe Sanfelippo.
What's up, everybody?
And also
Puberty. Puberty's a mess. That's a rough thing.
Peter Brady. I'm also joined by Julia Cearley.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. We're back because we're missing Nando Velasquez, who is out on assignment. But he will be back. Man. He'll be back next week. Nando Velasquez. He's here in spirit. Episode 14. Madeline Pratt of the Pratt of the Blacklist. And
number 73.
Yeah, she's number 73.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm already getting some feedback via Twitter and otherwise, and that people weren't that into this episode. Like my girl Vanilla Cupcake just hit me up, and she's like, I was disappointed with this episode.
Was she?
She was, but here's what I say. I disagree, V Cupcake, because I liked it. I thought this was really cool. I thought they did something really cool this episode. I've got my criticisms, which we'll get to in a second. But overall, what was cool about this is it was like a good old fashioned sort of con man grifter sort of story. Like not unlike The Sting, not unlike David Mamet's House of Games or Heist, where you have some con things going on, there's some misdirection, you think that one thing's happening, it's not the other thing, at the end something else happened, and I like that. I like a good sort of grifter con man situation going on.
Well, yeah, did they select this episode? Did they know going in that this was the episode that was going to be the return after Sochi? I mean, I think there's an expectation that kind of happens, like we're going to be gone for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but when we come back, it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's hard to say. That's a definite chicken egg me situation. Because I'm sure John Bokenkamp and the gang they break these stories. It's most of the time in advance, and then they're on their schedule. They shoot them in advance, and then NBC sort of gives them the schedule afterwards. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. So who knows if this was a selected episode to come back from break, or if this is just the way the cookie crumbled. That's it. That's a question.
Yes, I don't know.
Because I think that builds expectation. Like if it was just a week to week, nobody would probably complain about it. But because it's built up the expectation, and maybe it didn't satisfy.
So what did you think of this episode, Joe?
I liked it. I like the idea very much of having Lizzie Keene have more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, did you see her steal shit when you were a kid? That's great. I'm excited to hear that. Did you you didn't learn sleight of hand at the FBI? Were you in? I don't know what the ultrasound is. I mean, was she into magic? I don't know. But something like there's kind of something interesting, maybe something criminal about her. I like that.
I got some mixed thoughts about her secret past that we've got revealed now. But Julia, what did you think of the episode?
I could sort of take early of this episode. There were some moments that I really enjoyed. I do like the new revelations, or the possibility, I guess, of what went down in Lizzie's past. That was kind of cool,
right?
Because she's such like an anomaly. I have no concept of who she is as a person, and so I'm looking forward to delving into her past. I mean, 14 episodes in, I want to know a little something finally.
Yeah, give me something to chew on.
The story. I mean, I liked our blacklister of the week. I liked her a lot, actually. She wasn't one of
Madeline
these.
Pratt.
Madeline Pratt. I liked her a lot. I liked her swagger. I liked the way that she rolled. I liked her relationship with Red a lot, and what she brought out of him, which was new and interesting. Oh, maybe I liked this episode more than I thought. But the actual story, it was a little convoluted and muddy for me. We got some Russians, we got some Syrians, we have an effigy, we have a double cross. It's like, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Make me follow all these things.
It's so exhausting to actually follow a plot line.
To passively watch television can be absolutely exhausting.
I don't know. I guess I'm more invested in the character development, and that's just the way I enjoy television and enjoy shows like this than a new heist of the week or whatever. That's just me.
Well, there has to be a heist of the week, otherwise the character development goes nowhere.
Oh, but it just, yeah, I know.
At the heart,
intellectually, we recognize this. All right.
Right. So I think at the heart of the Blacklist is a procedural. We talked about stuff.
Yeah,
it's a procedural at the heart of it. It's a a crime of the week, a blacklister of the week. They're doing something. We have something to chase and follow and clues and solve every week. And then underneath that, we have our sort of mildly serialized thing that's going to take us through maybe multiple seasons. So we get both.
No, I get it. I just didn't love this crime of the week.
Right.
I guess maybe is what it is.
Right. I get it. But I like what they're trying to do, because I really feel like they're trying to do a sort of like a sort of a grifter's sort of double crossy con man story, and and in the end, Red double crossed and he just wanted the thing, and then she got her thing, and then it was I like that. That was fun.
I got you.
Okay.
I liked it too.
All right. Well, what do we learn? Let's get into this episode. When we first start, we see Madeline Pratt, aka Madeline Reddington.
Mrs. Reddington, the widow Reddington, as far as the Turks are concerned.
Yeah, she's very broken up too.
Yes.
She's in the bank.
Oh, I can't muster a tear, but I'm very sad.
No, she's dabbing her face, and she's got the black gloves and the whole thing. But I do love the level of zeal and joy she had doing that. Like when she opened the box, she had this really great smile, and then when she disappeared and they were chasing after her, she put on the scarf.
The scarf, yeah.
She had a smile like, and I'm like, I like this broad.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
Jennifer L. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
L.
Don't know.
I don't know, but she was awesome.
She's great.
Yeah, I like that she was Reddington's age. Like, she's a really hot lady who's she's not 26, she's not 28. She's a really attractive lady who's got some sophistication.
Sure.
And she got some stuff.
And I like that she's still out there in the end. So I would love to see her come back at some point.
Yeah, I like her.
I like her.
I love her.
I love her more. That's the game we can play now.
Boys, don't fight.
Yeah, but she's kind of like people say that she looks like she's English and she looks a lot like Meryl Streep in some ways. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that or heard that online, but anyway, that's a separate thing.
All right.
People like her. I like her. Anywho, so we see her do her thing, and then she leaves a note for Red. Red's in the middle of getting his acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Yeah, and he was just about to. He was feeling the euphoric
endorphins were
starting to vibrate his spleen, which is just a great Red Reddington note there. So he realized he meets her. I love that. This is why I love this episode, because I do love, like you said, Julia, what we learn about Red. Like the function of these blacklisters is, aside from being the criminal of the week, a lot of time is to give us the ability to learn more about Red. With every blacklister, we learn more about Red. So with this one, Madeline, we get to see a different side of Red because we get to know about what happened in
Florence, or didn't happen in Florence.
We get to know that there's some romance going on. If we have something more to talk about, maybe we should take this up to your room.
Well, you definitely got the impression by the end of it that the reason he didn't show in Florence was not because there was a little something going on, because a little something could have morphed into a lot of something, and that would have been too much for him. He's not prepared to go there anymore. He won't go there anymore.
Right.
Ever since Christmas, whatever year that was.
If you think that story was true.
Well, let's get back to that. We'll get there.
I bought it.
I bought it too, but we'll get there in a second. So we do the initial exchange, and we have the offer for the offer, which is Red to steal something. But as always, Red's sort of 3 steps ahead. So when he brings us to Lizzie, it's almost like I have an agenda with Madeline Pratt, but to get to my agenda, which will probably ultimately to get the what's it called?
The effigy
to myself.
of Estrada.
His end game is I want this effigy, but I want to get my. I want to get effigy and I want to see what Madeline's up to. So who do I call? I call the FBI and Lizzie, and I'll get them to jump through all of my hoops. So at the end of the day, I can put this thing on my mantle. And that's kind of what it is.
Now, that's what I want to find out at the end of this thing. Why did he want it? He didn't want he didn't want the bombs. He didn't care about that. He got rid of that ugly painting. He gave that to Madeline at the end. Why did he want the damn thing?
It's because it's a priceless artifact, and it's something that is to have. And this is kind of the piece of Red Reddington. There's this myth about these art thieves or these jewel thieves or like these guys who go out and the cat burglar who goes out and steals this wonderful, beautiful, multi-million-dollar art piece and then takes it and just hangs it in their in their room, or people who go out and have those things stolen just so they can have them in their study. Like, there's no reason for it. Some people just want a beautiful piece of unobtainable art in their possession, and Red seems like that kind of cat to me. I mean,
well, when you have a guy who has everything already,
right?
He has everything at his fingertips.
Maybe. I mean, he just sat there and looked at it like it's like he won.
Well, we didn't talk about the morning show there at Liz and Tom's house.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah, I know. Tom has turned into a more milksop version of Owen Wilson by at this point in the show. Luke Wilson. I beg your pardon. But I don't know. If he's not a spy, if there's nothing underhanded about him, he needs to leave her. He needs to get the heck out. He is I don't know, man. She says I'm sorry in the morning when he says 6 months planning, then a year waiting, and she, well, I'm sorry. Did you think she was sorry?
No,
I didn't think she was sorry either. It's kind of like, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna have my orange juice. Where are you going? You're leaving. You seem mad.
I'm pretty sure that every episode we now have Tom and Lizzie making up, then they make plans, and then she calls and cancels every single episode.
If she were a dude,
how long do you let this go on before you're like, okay, bye-bye?
If she were a dude, it'd have been done a long time ago. We'd have all been like, girl, get out. But Who
would say that?
I just did.
Is that what,
that's what I just said.
Do you start sentences often with girl?
All the time.
Girl,
I
want a sip of coffee.
Get out. But that's what I'm saying. If this was flipped, if Lizzie was a guy and Tom was a girl, we'd have all been like, get out. You're done.
I don't really see what she has to offer to this relationship.
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so bored with the Tom and Lizzie storyline, frankly.
It's become so uninteresting.
I'm just bored. I mean, I guess it's a device to get us, as we see in the previews next week, to get us to this place where we need to go with this mysterious woman. What's her name?
Jolene,
who is
Brooks.
Right.
Jolene,
Lucy Brooks, who's apparently the super spy we've been waiting for. But and we'll get to her next week as we see. But in order to get to there, we have to have some sort of they've been on the rock since day one, right?
Oh,
Lizzie
yeah.
and Tom. So, and Red's been putting doubt into Lizzie about Tom since day one, and so I don't know. I'm more interested in seeing what Tom's up to or not up to than I am with the ins and outs of their relationship. It's just every time we cut to the apartment and Tom's like making eggs and he's doing whatever he's doing, and I'm just bored. I'm like, I don't know.
I used to look forward to it.
Yeah.
Those used to be my favorite scenes.
I don't want to wait.
All right.
I remember.
I remember that too.
The other thing about Tom, dude, I don't know. I've not been married to a teacher before, but he goes to an amazing number he travels a ton for a teacher.
He's got
a conference in Orlando. He's got going to Nebraska the week before that. He's out all the time. There's a lot of traveling that goes on in teaching that I didn't know about.
Well, he's got to go do his job as an assassin.
That's right. He's an assassin.
He's got to go kill people. That's part
the most unsuave assassin. And if you remember, I was really into the Tom in the beginning.
I remember.
But he's just so wet and noodly.
Milk toasty.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, milk toast on.
He does. He makes Luke Wilson look edgy.
All right. Get shots fired at Luke Wilson.
I like Luke Wilson. I like Luke Wilson. Right. I wouldn't put Luke Wilson on a Harley with a leather jacket on and ride him through the desert though.
Fair enough. So then, I don't know.
Okay.
All right. It's very specific, but I wouldn't do it.
So, nor would I.
So we get back to that happens. So we get back to the FBI command center when we're getting the full debriefing from Red and Harold and the gang, and this is when he sort of Harold has that one-on-one, face-to-face with Red because, Harold Lennox is not, he knows something's up, right? He knows that something is not right in Denmark with the disappearance of...
Where's Diane?
Where's Diane?
Where's Diane, Nairobi?
Yes, I will put you in a box. So he meant it. So he's not happy. He knows something is up, and Red is very coy. What's so funny? Like, I don't know. Red is very coy, but I like the notion he shows up and he's like, "Wait, what are you doing here? You have to those mole." No, we're good. He's like, "What do you mean we're good? Where's Diane?" I don't know.
I don't know, Diane. That's not my. She's your problem, not my problem.
And Harold, wait a second.
Damn it, Nairobi.
Nairobi. No, so there's something not right, and then this is where it gets a little murky for me because. Then it's revealed, so Red reveals his plan as he always does. This is what we have to do. We have Madeline Pratt, and she wants this, and she wants to, and she's planning this heist, and if we want this, she asked me to help her, so we can do that. And guess who we have? Who can help us? Lizzie.
Yeah, and everyone takes for granted because Red said so that Lizzie is a master thief now. This is to me FBI WTF. So Red says that Lizzie's a master thief, and Lizzie goes, "What?" Long, confused look at the camera. Okay, so and now we'll plan a whole operation based on Lizzie being a master thief in the Syrian Embassy, which is technically foreign soil. And I love the idea. Harold's, whoa, it's foreign soil. We can't protect you. Okay, yeah, really? I mean, is it? Do we really?
Sure. Yeah,
I know it's true. I know legally it's true, but really? Right. But anyway, but it's interesting to me. I don't know. It does stretch the imagination that the FBI doesn't have anybody else to send.
You're bearing the lead. Yeah, you're bearing the lead. I'm still stuck on the fact that Lizzie's a master thief. Forget the fact that they're going to send her in. When did Lizzie become a master thief? When that we get episode 14, and that's something that's a reveal.
Or that when you explain to the person you're auditioning for master thief job for, when you tell them when you say I've stolen your phone, and you say I ran a scam at a 7-Eleven, and she goes, "That works for me. I will help you break into the Syrian Embassy."
Exactly. So
you stole from the 7-Eleven, and you took my phone
in an alley for a little bit.
Done. In and out of the Syrian Embassy.
Yeah,
done.
Okay, but let's back up because all that we'll get to that. But let's back up. I want to back up to where. Wrestlers so wait a minute,
So your father's criminal record never showed up.
And maybe yours didn't show up. Is it because you didn't tell us or because you never got caught?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't buy any of that.
No follow-up, wrestler? Just yes. Okay,
and look, this is not a shot at Megan Boone, who I love, and it's not a shot at Lizzie Keene, the character, who I also love, but I wasn't buying the fact that she's like, yeah, I'm a master thief. I'm a grifter.
What's up now?
How did you know? Anyway, yeah. So let's get so they buy it, and let's just suspend disbelief for a second. Harold's like, all right, you're a thief. It's all right, on you, but we can't protect you. Okay, let's suspend disbelief, and that happened. That's cool. So you're right. She gets to the audition with Madeline, and Red's like, tell her about
Frank and Omaha.
Tell her about Omaha. She says, well, there was a 7-Eleven. Really?
That's Thursday.
And then she played, and I love that. I don't know, I'm not trying to be nasty, but you guys wrote this goofy. So she drops the Omaha 7-Eleven action, and then she goes, "You know what? I'm out." And then she leaves. And from my point of view, it's like, I want to buy that Chevy for $20. That's right. My deal. I'm out.
I don't think the Omaha story was as impressive because Red was like, Red threw it out there it was like she broke into Fort Knox. She's
right.
Like, yeah. Tell her about Omaha. Boom. I'm looking at, check it out. And she's like, yeah, the 7-Eleven happened. Then you know what I did? I seduced him a little bit and took him in the alley and then
kissed him off and
well, the rest is history. And she's like, I'm not buying it. So the key to the thing that got her was she stole her phone. And she walked out. And so she's like, okay, I'll double. I'll pay you double.
What? Yeah, I don't know. And obviously,
also I don't think she really cared how great this possible thief could be being Lizzie. She just needed Red to be there.
Of course. And look, just to get back for plot purposes, we'll stop deconstructing it because it's dumb. And Joe, you couldn't have written a better episode yourself. So quit. Don't
act like I'm the only one who's questioning it.
A-hole. You can't take shots at the writers.
Yeah, like you didn't just take a shot. You put the whole thing on me.
I did. I'm just saying.
What a jerk, Flippo.
I didn't say it out loud.
Oh, I hate you both. But no, I agree. And the device it does work because Madeline didn't actually expect them to steal it. She was just auditioning patsies.
Right, and auditioning patsies. And number two, we are to believe that Red's credible. So if Red says this is the girl, it's the girl. Like 7-Eleven, no 7-Eleven, that's it. And she didn't want him anyway. She just wanted patsies, and that's all fine, and that'll happen. So, and that was cool. This is part of that whole sort of like House of Games, Sting, double cross, grifting thing. But I do like Megan's like I did some grifting in my day. I'm a grifter. I like that. I mean,
when did you have time?
You know what? If Lizzie's getting hotter. She's an FBI agent. She's a profiler and a grifter.
Who knew?
It's hot. So anyway, so we get to the actual showdown. She puts on that beautiful dress, the actual heist. We're all in. The whole team's in place, and Red shows up in the cool tuxedo, right?
Looking suave.
I do want to say Tom actually made me laugh because there was when he goes to zip her up, and he says, you're going undercover. I can come with you. I got a lot of great fake IDs.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty funny. I thought, hey,
I thought that was funny.
Julia, tell me, Julia. I again. No heat, no sparks,
zero.
No sexuality,
zero.
There was nothing happening there. I mean, Megan Boone's, I'm sorry, Lizzie Keene is hot. She's in the dress. Tom's a great-looking guy. He's in the dress, and he says, maybe we should do some undercover work of our own. And I'm like, ugh. I mean, were you in
I got
remotely?
nothing. Not a tingle. Not a twinge.
Not a twinge. Nothing. I was like, there's no heat. Heat index was 0 on that. Like, I don't. This is the most unlikely couple.
I hate them.
All right.
I hate them both. Please, just divorce.
So you're telling me if in the next episode the ground opened up, randomly swallowed Tommy, you'd be like, oh darn.
I could be okay with it.
I do like.
So you're saying it could be.
I'm totally proud of you. I do like your winning. This, and frankly, Ryan Eggle, again, no disrespect to you.
No, super cute. Just hate Tom.
And
love Ryan.
Tom
hate
King
Tom.
is bugging the crap on me, and the Tom Lizzie thing is bugging me. But yeah, I just I want some. There's no chemistry.
Want some heat.
Yeah,
you want something to fight for.
Although next week it looks like Tom may have some heat.
Well, that's
with Jolene.
something to fight for.
Yeah, no, that looks like some heat.
Something going on.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe.
Even though she's a 6.
I think it's a good call. I think it's a good call. I think that's legit. You could have cast a ridiculous bombshell and it would have looked silly. But she's a 6, 7, and I think it works.
Don't
bumped her up to a 7.
Don't try to bump her up to a 7.
I said 6
She'll be
to
8
7.
next
That's
week.
what I said. Should be a 14 by the end of this thing.
I like Jolene already. I think she's more than a 6, but that's we digress as usual. So we have the heist. Red shows up in a very sweet, touching moment when he says, I will not let anything happen to you.
Yes.
And those are great moments.
I don't have any backup. You got me.
Yes, those are great Spader moments that we know and love. I mean, so again, so once we get to the actual centerpiece, the whole set piece of the first cool thing is they have to steal the badge, which I thought was kind of a cool scene. Or no?
Yes. The brush pass comes before, but yeah, absolutely, that was neat.
Yeah, the brush pass.
You getting the badge?
Yeah, El Brush Pass, as they say in the Spanish. Yeah.
Or as they say in the business.
Yeah.
The brush pass. So that was cool to see the team working together as that.
Yep.
I mean, nothing on that, Joe?
It's a smooth operation.
All right.
It's also hinting a little bit more at her criminal past of how easy it is for her just to like a little bump and steal a patch and then bump again.
Patunk.
Right.
He never was the wiser.
I didn't even know. That's the sound.
She's that good of a grifter.
You just patunk. That's the sound right there. Patunk. That's the sound a brush pass makes.
I don't think I want to hear that sound anymore.
I'm gonna do it again.
Don't. All right. So we get to the
patunk. Check your earring. It's gone.
Sorry. So we get to the actual party. We see that to everyone's surprise, we know that Madeline's there and Red is there, and they both seem very surprised, but they both are actually not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Right. And so Lizzie goes off to do her thing. Red distracts Madeline, and what happens?
And the alarm sounds, and Red realizes that this was all a hoax, you know?
Right.
And she, Madeline Pratt, gets taken away to the safe house, which we learn is where she wanted to be the entire time because that's where the effigy is.
Right.
And now she takes this moment with all the commotion to point out that there's Red as the patsy of this whole thing. Right. There's Red. It's his fault. Follow him. Swipe, swipe. Run. Sell it to the Russians.
No, you guys are like, you guys don't think that's cool? I like all this sort of double cross.
No, I dig it.
No, I like that.
I like all this stuff.
I didn't see it coming.
Misdirection, and then you think this, and you think that.
I didn't feel like there was any. Maybe it's the way they shot it, or maybe it's because we've gotten used to Red being, the smartest guy in the room, and he's always got a plan. But I didn't feel any sense of danger. I didn't feel any true sense of imminent danger, and that's maybe that's maybe what I felt was missing from the episode. I didn't feel like when they were in the Syrian embassy, I didn't really feel like they were in any real danger at any point. Even when she's captured and Red comes in and does the whole pantomime to get he's like, oh, I'm yelling about this whole thing, and then he knocks the guy. I never felt.
What does he do?
He comes in there
and he's the gay guy.
Right, and I never felt like there was any. I never felt any sense of danger. I never felt like there was the stakes were very high.
So are you saying this as a criticism of the episode, or
I think that's why
as the embassy as a set piece, or are you just saying like?
I think overall the tone didn't feel dangerous. The pacing didn't feel dangerous.
Right.
And the Syrians frankly didn't feel dangerous.
Right.
So I think that kind of lessened that. I think that's why people are responding kind of negatively to the episode because the stakes didn't feel high enough.
Well, it's like there was a certain tone. I mean, to me, again, there was a certain kind of fun, upbeat tone to this episode, which didn't necessarily match what were the stakes, right?
Yeah.
So I think that we're feeling this like, oh, he's tangoing with Madeline, and then there's this and that, and there's all this stuff going on. But the stakes are really high, but we don't really sense that.
It felt kind of like a '60s James Bond movie. Like everything's all about it was all about swagger and style, but not so much about real danger. It didn't feel that dangerous.
But I think that feels to me like that was a stylistic choice. I feel like this episode was specifically meant to be a certain type of episode. I think it was an attempt, I'll say for the 100th time, an attempt to do something different, do something like The Sting or something like one of these grifter movies. So I think that the tone was, sort of fast-paced, misdirection, you never know who to trust sort of thing, and it's a double cross and never double cross, and it's a twist. I think that that was sort of the tone of the episode, but it does not match with the dread and or danger that you may feel in any given situation. I do. That's a good point.
Yeah. And one thing I do want to point out that I liked, when Red is dancing with Madeline, he's trying to give her a way out. My plane's 15 minutes away. Let's just go. Yeah. Let's just go. We'll get this done. We'll get out of here. So
do you think in that moment or in general that Red, and this is a question for both of you, I mean, do you think that Red has some genuine affection for Madeline and he genuinely cared about her? Was he really trying to help her out because he knew, or was he still sort of manipulating the situation, trying to get her out of there because he knew that she's there to steal something?
I think in that moment, I think it was a genuine affection thing. I think he really has real feelings towards this woman. I mean, she revealed she's obviously heartbroken over the whole Florence thing. He never showed in Florence, and that's sort of her.
She brought that up like 4 times.
Yeah, she keeps on saying it, and maybe that's probably why she picked Red in the first place. There's a little revenge action over there.
This is my weekly question. This is part of the show where I ask the same question. Did they do it like at the beginning of the show when he took her at the hotel when he's like, let's take this up to your room?
I think so.
Think they did it?
Yeah, I mean, it's
I think so.
I would think so.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
And you know what? Something she said when she was asking about
Florence. I'd like to know if people
did it. Do you think they did it?
Did they do it?
Did they do it?
All right. Go ahead.
They totally did it.
All right. Thanks. Go ahead.
When she's talking about Florence, she says this was our ticket out. So I think that she envisioned an entire future with Red, rolling around in their mountains of cash, in some remote islands.
Appreciating beautiful art and the Florentine lifestyle.
Exactly, and just getting out of this completely. And when he left her high and dry, well, then he's going to pay.
Right. Okay, fair enough. And then what she said.
But I think his affection still remains.
Right.
For both of them.
So we get the double cross. We get everything happen. We get back to
and by the way, they break out of the embassy, and apparently we never see that. We never see them break out. We never see them get out through the crackerjack Syrian security.
This is one of those. That's one of those. That's
what I'm saying. The stakes didn't feel very high.
We're suspending a lot of disbelief here because we got getting in and we got all this talk about this is you're off. You're on foreign territory. This is really dangerous. This is bad. And Lizzie was tied up, and Red did go in, but then next next thing we see is we cut to Lizzie's back at headquarters.
Right, and I think that
she's like, that was weird.
Remember what happened? Yeah, when we broke out and we killed all those guys. That was amazing. Anyway.
Right? That time.
You know? Then you stole the jet and we flew over New York. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I think? I feel like they kind of did this to themselves in a lot of ways because they had such an amazing last 2 episodes before the break, and it was gritty and there was high stakes everywhere and people were getting killed, and you know we had a lot going on. And then when you kind of bring it back to a slower place. I think I understand because you can't run on that high octane forever. It'll burn everybody out. But this is going to be the natural letdown. I think.
I still maintain that this is I enjoyed this episode, so I'm just going to maintain that. But I will say that I was talking to some staff writers, and this is what people will say before, and people often talk about, showrunners and staff writers always talk about everyone prefers doing 13 over 22. Like 22 episodes of story is a lot of story. The network requires 22, but sometimes they'll let you 13. But you know, sometimes they'll let you 15 or 18, but 22 is a lot, right? So, and what they say is, you know, when you do 22, you'll often notice that 5 of them suck.
Yeah, you got to dilute the story so much.
So you know, or five of them usually probably suck. And I'm not saying this is one of the ones that suck, but anyway, so good. So we get back to headquarters. We see, Harold's very suspicious of Red, but Red has a plan. Julia, what is this? What takes place next?
Oh, why do you keep on calling on me like
I don't know. I'm talking.
I know all about it.
You should, because we do a show called The Blacklist. Julia. Please.
Well, Red, Joe runs into...
Why do you keep calling on me? Sorry. Julia, continue.
He runs into Madeline on the street, and they get tased. Right.
Well, first we find out about the CIA raid from 1983, and we find out that
was I wrong? Was my answer wrong?
No, you were put under pressure. It's his fault, not yours.
I'll go to Joe. Joe.
Well, we find out that the crewman 6 that we're trying to find that is supposed to be hidden in the effigy. Right. We find out that that's not actually spies; those are nuclear bombs. We find that out, and there was a 1983 CIA raid that was sent over to this guy's dad's compound, and this kid at 7 years old was given the effigy and told to protect it. And so you said there was nothing in it, or he never opened it maybe, but he saw his dad put something in it. So we know it's very important, whatever it is, right? So that's what we find out, that the effigy, now we raise the stakes. So the effigy actually has nuclear bomb coordinates. So now it's a big deal. So we got these suitcase nuclear bombs that have a 2,000-foot blast radius, and there's going to be fallout. The RA-115 suitcase nukes that the Russians.
He's got some notes over
you got specs and everything.
I'm not playing. So that the Russians stashed all over the country in the 60s. So that's what we find out is in the actual effigy. So now we've raised the stakes. So now we've got, this is serious. Now Red and Madeline meet on the street, and Madeline is still pissed about Florence. Yes. And then they're captured.
They're captured, which is a cool moment. This is back to my double crossing grifter House of Games heist moment, where this is another sort of a double-crossed, twisty set piece. So they're taken to this location, and Red goes into one of his Red or James Spader wonderful soliloquies, or wonderful James Spader monologue, where he sucks you all the way in. And, dude, broke my heart.
It was good, huh?
It was good.
Spader can, in the middle of this episode, in the middle of this questionable episode that a lot of things are happening, and Megan's a grifter, and Tom's doing his thing, and then Harold's yelling. Like, in the middle of this, James does a beautiful piece of acting, as he always does, which is why the show's so freaking good.
Let me say this: beautifully staged and shot. I thought.
Yes.
His face was. I literally wrote down beautiful. Like the way that they lit him was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Half and half not, and everything was on his face. The stillness. It was beautifully done. I really enjoyed it. What do you say? So he ran out of gas 4 or 5 miles from home. His wife and daughter. All he can think about is his wife and daughter at home. She's playing the piano. He's got a car full of gifts. He's ruining Christmas, and how he's thinking that how they're going to laugh about this for years to come. How Dad ruined Christmas. And he gets home, and all I can see is the blood. All I saw is their blood. I can still smell the nape of her neck, feel her tiny fingers. As a dad, that grabbed you, didn't it?
No, it broke my heart. It really did. I was really into that scene. I don't know. I mean, Jules, how did you feel?
I'm not a dad, and I was still feeling it.
Yeah.
It also solidified the emotional connection between the two of them.
Sure.
which has been sort of, fun and loose and fancy-free, but this made it extremely credible that they have like a very, very solid and serious past, the two of them.
And it was a bit of a one-upper moment by Red, because she's like, "What about Florence? What about Florence?" He's like, "Let me tell you why I wasn't in Florence. My whole family got killed." She's like, "Oh." Like, I guess you win the argument. So that was kind of a bummer. But let me get to the real question here is, do we believe him, Julia?
I mean, I do. We know that his family is. Well, we don't know for sure. We know his daughter's dead. No, we don't know for sure. We know something happened to the family
and we know
in such
fire.
a way that he had to blow up the house in which he raised his child or children.
We do know that.
Yes. So, I mean, shit went down.
Yes.
So this was, I'm choosing to believe it because it was just so good.
Sure.
The speech was just so good and it made so much sense. It was nice to have a delving look into this man finally and this character and why he is who he is. So I am choosing to believe it.
Good. Flippo?
I believe it too. And I just want to go on the record as having said, I knew it was a setup. I knew it was a setup from word go. I just want to let y'all know. You people,
Mr. I see into the future. I know everything.
Teacher's pet.
I'm just letting y'all know.
My stats.
All right.
Listen, if I was in the presence of genius, I'd want to know too. So I'm just letting y'all know.
We're on notice.
In the presence of genius.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. When he came out in the suit, was not surprising to me. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Okay. I was surprised.
I was surprised.
Were you? Like
Yeah.
Red was going to let himself get captured in the street. Please.
All right. Okay.
Come on.
All right. Well,
He said with disdain.
Well, the Syrians had already had such shoddy security work
right, by the
their
Syrians,
own,
who we've
at their
already
own
proven.
embassy.
Right. They can't even keep people in their own building.
They were much scarier in
What happened? Where did they go? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yes.
My terrible Syrian accent.
Please
That
don't ever do it again.
No?
I don't know what that accent.
It was generic, awful Middle Eastern. But that's where Syria technically is.
Sure.
So, and having never met a Syrian, I would
Middle
imagine.
East.
Where is Syria? Generic Middle East.
Generic Middle East.
Jules, you did say they were a lot more scary in Back to the Future.
Yes, I did.
That was a good line. I want to make sure that we heard that. I want Joe like stepping on that with all of his bad accents and preening and showing off.
That's much better.
Anyway, so
Thanks, Brez.
There you go. I got you covered. I'm looking out for you. So it was a setup. I do believe every word of that. I do believe that was all true. I mean, the specificity of that, him, in that moment, he made me believe him, and I don't think that, to walk through those exact moments, the smell, the look, the thoughts. And when you walk through something point by point by point, obviously that's what makes you believe something, but we know something happened. I think that it just says more to me about Red's ability to be able to use and pull from all these different things to be able to get what he wants. And furthermore, it also further solidifies for me his affection for Madeline. I mean, he needed to get what he needed to get, but they had a genuine rift in Florence. Like, she genuinely was like, what happened? So he owed her an explanation. He gave her the explanation. Yeah. But in the process, he also used her to get to his information he needed. But I think it was sort of a two-for for him. I think he was able to, connect with her and also use her.
Well, if you set something like that up, right, then there's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing it. You could be nasty to her. You could torture her. You could abuse her. But he didn't do that, obviously.
Well, right. he meant her no harm.
I think you're right. And then at the end, he doesn't give her up. He doesn't give her to the feds. He lets her get get away.
Of course.
With a $40 million painting.
Yes, it was a trade.
And that speech was very... Yeah, it really is kind of creepy. That speech was reminiscent of the speech he gave to Wrestler when Wrestler was quasi dying in the box. Uh-huh. Talking about all the places he's seen and the reflections that that meant so much to him. And
beautiful.
When he talks like that, he's speaking from truth. He's speaking,
I think so.
Yeah.
You like to believe. I believe it. You say as a person who's seduced by Red.
I'm very seduced by Red.
Me too. I believe.
Who I'm not seduced by? Tom.
I got it.
Well, we didn't. One thing we didn't talk about is our boy Tom has decided to bone out to Florida without Lizzie. Remember they had planned a little vacay.
Oh, he's gonna bone out in Florida. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
there's a lot of.
And I think what was the deal? Lizzie was in the elevator with Wrestler.
Yeah.
And
Tom?
You're Tom. Hey, you know.
Jesus.
And he's like, you know, I was so glad when he did it. I was like, you go, Tom, instead of you go, girl. I said, you go, Tom. It's your damn drink. You go, girl. That's what's screwing me up.
You're supposed to start with girl.
Tom. So anyway, I was like, good, get out.
Right.
You know.
Here's
I'm leaving tonight.
Take a stand, Tom.
I mean, the very second. I mean, was there any doubt in anyone's mind? The very second Tom said, you know, I'm going to Orlando. You should come out with me. And when Lizzie goes, I'd love that. Was there any doubt?
No question.
She was not going to make it.
Sure.
You know what I said?
Do you think he believed it?
I mean, well, of course he did in the moment. But
did
like,
you?
I did, but like, I don't think anyone watching that show or knows anything about the Blacklist or anything thought for 1 second. She's like, I'd love to go to Orlando and spend some time with you. We're like, That's
you know,
not gonna happen.
Anytime they plan something, I yell at the TV. They're saying, "Buy travel insurance, Tom. Pay the extra $15. Get the travel insurance because she ain't going.
She ain't going. You know she ain't going. And
Well,
so,
you know, there's a part of him that knows Jolene is going to be there, so maybe it was an empty invitation, knowing that she was going to back out like she always does.
Well, that's why he had it locked and loaded. We're like, I'm going tonight. Jolene's landing right now. I gotta go. You know, so I don't know.
So he did his due diligence by inviting her, knowing that she wouldn't follow through.
Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe.
Makes him look like a good husband.
So that brings us to the elevator with Wrestler and Lizzie, and I just bring that. I only brought up the fact that I didn't believe for 1 second, none of us did, that she was going to make on that trip. To say it kind of lowered the stakes in that elevator conversation when she's like, "Tom, guess what?" And she's upset. I think that was actually very well acted seen by Megan Boone. She was genuinely like, I hate this job.
But then she says, "I hate this job." I was like, "Really? Then quit."
Well,
you don't hate it.
But she's got a higher calling, yeah. But who's there to pick up the pieces? Who's there? Like
Wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like he's got his charm. There's some heat there.
I'm liking Wrestler a little bit more these days. He's building up in my esteem.
You want me to kick his ass? Want me to rough him up?
Want me to rough him up a little bit for you?
Yeah, oh sweet.
Yeah, Wrestler, I do.
Please.
So that was nice, and that was a nice little moment. I kind of like that, and that's also who doesn't know for a fact that Wrestler and Lizzie are gonna be together sometime. I think I called that in episode 4, but
if not before,
the worst case. That's the worst, easiest prediction in the world. But anyway, so there's that happened. We do see the resolution. We see the resolution with we see that as we talked about in the beginning. Red has the effigy. He let Madeline get away. The double cross was had. He trades the codes to Harold, and all is well. Everybody is sort of gets what they want, and it all seems well in Denmark. But I will go back to that weird moment. I mean, I mentioned a few shows ago how we've created this world now where Red has something on everybody. Like he really has. He has a task force, like the entire task force in the palm of his hand. And the only person he didn't have anything on, he killed. What's her name? The one he killed last episode, Diane. So, but he had something on her too. Obviously, and she was the mole, and he killed her. So there was that one moment where he walks into Harold's office and he goes, "How are they? The kids and the." That was kind of a chilling moment for me.
Sinister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something about like, how's your family? Yeah, like that was a little. Sinister.
I know where you live.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not your wife, the kids. I know there's something sinister about that. So cut to the end. Everything seems well. We do have this moment where Harold wants to know more. He has this vendetta against Reddy. He makes it very clear to
Malik.
To Malik.
Mira Malik.
To Mira Malik. He wants to keep an eye on Reddington, and as if she's access to him, though, but I don't know.
Well, she was there because of Diane, right? Diane is the one who put Mira on this task force.
But she was cleared immediately, remember? You're cleared.
Yeah, you're cleared.
Yeah.
And do keep in mind that she's the one who gives up Diane.
Yeah, so she knows she's in a tough spot because she knows what Red has done.
Yes.
And now Red has something on her.
Right.
And now she's being tasked by Harold to look into this.
Right. Well, that means nothing because at the end of the episode,
Special Agent Walter Gary Martin from the DC Bureau.
The DC Bureau.
You need to stop.
Yes. It was very...
He felt like old school J. Edgar Hoover FBI.
He did.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he also felt like... He also felt a little bit like... Speaking of Mamet, he also felt a little bit like Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross with his references to downtown to Mitch and Murray. Like, I'll take this to the Bureau. This is the Bureau, DC Bureau. It reminded me of when Alec Baldwin was like... I'm from Mitch and Murray. I'm from downtown. I'm the shit. You know, that's kind of like how he rolled. It was
My
funny.
watch is worth more than you make in a year.
he kind of rolled in there with the swag of like.
Is that what Gary Martin just said?
Gary, he rolled in there with the swag of like, yeah, it's a nice office. You guys doing a good job here. You know, everything you're doing is great. But here's the thing. It's over.
Yeah. This investigation is done.
I'm from downtown. I'm from the D.C. Bureau.
The Diane Fowler disappearance needs to be handled carefully.
Right. So, what are our thoughts on this guy? Is this guy on the up and up? Is he working for Alan Alda? Is this a thing? Is it just D.C. putting a lid on stuff? What's happening?
Let me
here?
answer your question with a question.
Yes.
I'm not sure how the FBI works, as I've never been a member of the FBI.
Sure.
And they won't return my calls.
Yeah, clearly.
But here's what I don't understand. I thought there would probably be paperwork, that people would probably make phone calls and there would be a chain of command. I didn't know that someone would just come into your office and say, "Hey, here's who I am," and you're going to shut this thing down.
All right, but he knew. I mean,
he said level 4 protocol thing. Stop. I don't know, but I mean, like, is that how it works?
That's when you're operating on the up and up. They're obviously not operating on the up and up. They're doing something a little.
Yeah, okay.
But are you suggesting that he just walked into the secure, FBI headquarters and was like, "Hey, I'm who I say I am"?
No. But I'm saying
obviously he knew who the guy was.
Okay, well let me toss out an idea. What if we got Alan Alda's little cadre of guys? What if we've got two separate kind of, I don't want to say rogue. That's not what I mean, but two separate chunks of the FBI that are kind of operating outside the chain of command, and it seems like that's kind of what we've got here.
Well, this goes beyond the FBI, right? This is we're talking about the federal. This is a federal. I mean, the FBI is basically the government's police force.
Right.
So, but there's got to be a chief of police, and that's the director of the FBI. But then they have his boss, and these are our people who run our country, and that's who
our elected officials. Your tax dollars at work.
Of which Alan Alda is well, he's not. He's
appointed.
He's appointed. He's not elected. So. I don't know what I'm making. The point I'm making. The point I'm making is I think it's beyond the FBI rogue divisions of the FBI. I think it goes higher than that.
You're probably right.
That's all I'm saying.
I think we agree.
So the episode wrapped up and it happened, and I think we'll clearly see more of Madeline Pratt, right? Or will we?
I hope
I'd like
so.
to.
I really like her.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe maybe they'll end up together, Madeline and Red, in the end.
That'd be nice.
Let me ask you guys a question. Sure. We have that shot of Lizzie at the end there. Tom doesn't answer the phone, and he's in Orlando. We all know that everything good happens in Orlando. But we have that shot of Lizzie at the end there with doing the sleight of hand trick with the ultrasound picture. What do we think? Why is that shot in the episode? What is she feeling in that?
Well, she
disappear, reappear, disappear, reappear. I mean, is that what we're doing?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying what you're reading into that, but I will say that clearly she's struggling with the decision to keep or not keep the kid. She's been struggling with the decision. She's made a decision. Red said you made the right decision. This is at the center of the turmoil between Tom and Lizzie is what's happening with this baby or what's not happening with this baby. And as she's sitting there, it's kind of like, should I keep the baby? Should I not keep the baby? Should we keep the baby? Should I not keep the baby? And I've already made the decision. And that's kind of what she's been. That's maybe what that symbolizes in that moment, in my opinion.
All right.
What do I know?
I'll take it.
But I do know that again, your boy Wrestler swoops in, and there's a nice moment with him at the end. Oh
yes, where he ditches his ex-fiancée Audrey, who he's obviously back on with, to be there and comfort his newfound friend, Lizzie.
Let me comfort you with my pee.
All right, relax. It's the family show. I don't know.
Is it really?
Is it?
I don't know if it is. All right. So we get some cool previews from next week, which look like obviously shit's about to go down. We're finally going to get into this, which will probably be a multiple episode arc of the Jolene Lucy situation, and of course NBC promo department. All questions will be answered. The biggest blacklist ever. Or whatever.
The war is coming.
The war is coming. Yeah, so I'm in. They get me every time. I don't know. God bless them. Do we have? Well, I think that's it. That's all we got.
I have some shout-outs if you want them.
Yeah.
On iTunes and YouTube. Just a couple people.
Yeah.
I know Nando.
Oh, well, it's the news and gossip. Let's hear that drop.
Oh.
She is paying attention.
Yeah. I'm just checking. Julia.
Is that the tickety noise?
Yes.
I'm not Nando. Okay, so on iTunes we have Twinkie330. That was nice. Running to remake Bobby Car 88, Zombie Walker 17.
Oh, Zombie Walker.
And then what do we got here on YouTube? We have Bridget Shea, Wardstone, Terry Pitnick, Alex Tungate, Sasu 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 X1, and a whole bunch of others. Life is Short 214. Yeah, we got some good ones. Thanks,
Good.
guys.
Thank
Taylor
you for listening.
S. Oh, we love you too.
Yeah, Taylor. We love you, Taylor. Thanks for listening.
Oh, and Shelly.
Shelly.
Always Shelly.
A vanilla cupcake, which I already talked about.
Yes.
And so thank you all for listening and downloading us. And we're glad to be back. And we're glad to be black. I am at least. I don't know. List? What?
Uh-oh.
Well, let's jump into some predictions. And
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Julia.
Well, I predicted before that Tom was gonna bone. What's her name? What's her name? Jolene. Lucy.
Yes.
So that's gonna happen. We see, or at least they get pretty darn close. But I think what's his name? Red is now hot on the tail of Jolene, and I think that when he got the list of the people who said they were dead but really aren't, that's who he was looking for. It was for Lucy Brooks, 28 years old. So so that's happening. Not really a prediction, more of an observation.
Okay.
But that's going to happen.
Got it. Joe San.
I think that maybe, I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe, I think Tom and Lizzie are done. I mean, that just, that's just a Walking Dead. It's just waiting to fall down. And I think that Wrestler can't pick up the pieces right away because that's too trite. So we have to wait. There'll have to be somebody in between.
That'll be season 2.
Yeah, it'll be season 2, right? What are you get?
Is there a prediction in this?
And no, not really. No.
Okay. Is there a prediction anywhere?
Well, I think that Red knows that Tom's gonna bang what's her name, and he's going to find a way to show it to Lizzie.
Well, of course, I think that's going to be a given, and then that'll be the straw that broke the camel's back. But I will say that my prediction is we will obviously see what Jolene's up to, what why she's after Tom. But keep in mind, Red has been very, very vocal this entire time about Tom is not who he says he is, and I have no reason to not believe that. So I think that we're finally going to get a Tom reveal. Because I still am on Tom's dirty. I'm still on that. So we're going to have that Tom reveal, whatever that is, where we'll find out Tom's true, whoever Tom is, we'll find out through Jolene or through whatever. And maybe they're in cahoots. Maybe that meeting is like, I don't know, who knows? I don't know what I'm predicting. But I think we'll find out more about Tom than we will about Lucy next episode.
All right.
That's my prediction. Well, thanks for joining us on the Blacklist AfterBuzz After Show. Julia, where can we find you?
Find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley. Follow me, and also here for a bevy of shows with these gentlemen.
A bunch of others. Joe.
You can find me on the Twitters at JoeFlippo, JoeFlippo, and my website is josephsanfelippo.com.
Yes.
Mr. Braz, where can we find you, sir?
On Twitter and Instagram at Joe K. Braswell. I'm posting pictures. I posted some just of my hike this morning.
Oh, did you?
Oh, that's
sounds
all.
delightful.
I got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week for more Blacklist AfterBuzz After Show. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.